Did you know that there are almost 30 commuter railroads in the United States alone? Some of the busiest ones, such as the Long Island Railroad, carry over 100,000 passengers per day. Without a doubt, passengers who rely on commuter trains need a reliable service. We don't want to have bad service, and the railroads don't want to give us bad service, because if the service is bad, it affects everybody. Like whenever I do my homework for Dreamfleet, I don't just research the buses and trains. I look at a company's ridership, anyone with fanning videos on YouTube, as well as any online reviews. Some have good reviews while others are unfavorable. I believe that no one wants to provide bad service. For the rail industry, it takes more than a modern rolling stock to improve service. Many lines in the United States use concrete ties for high-speed rail, so as to make the ride as smooth as possible for commuters. What we don't know is that concrete ties causes more wear and tear on the equipment than wooden ties. Either way, trains need to be maintained properly for prolonged use, but they need to travel on something that is easy on the equipment but comfortable for commuters. One proposal is making rail ties out of engineered cementitious composite, or ECC. Basically, bendable concrete that is able to heal itself by means of air and rainwater. In fact, at the top of your screen is a link to a video on how ECC works. One of the root causes of train delays is signal problems, and that's the last thing we want to hear when going to or from work. Now the reality is that since track signals are man-made, they won't work all the time, even with a good maintenance routine. What is also needed is a way to assist stationary track signals when they are not working, namely personnel on radio standby, almost like directing traffic for trains, as well as a track signal program from company-owned mobile devices. Imagine if you're a locomotive engineer and while operating your train, you are suddenly signaled to stop. After a short period of time, if the signal problems are not resolved right away, the crew dispatchers will tell you to take out the smartphone and log into the track signal app and use it along the rest of the journey. Nevertheless, you will still need to listen to personnel over the radio just in case anything changes. The bright side of commuter rail service is that you can reach your destination faster than by car. However, some rely on it to a point where some companies don't have time to properly clean and maintain their tracks, stations, or equipment. And that could become a problem over time because it could come unexpectedly during peak hours. To make sure that your local rail service remains reliable, they need to suspend passenger service during the least busiest hours, preferably overnight, so as to clean and maintain everything. Now it's true that not everyone works in the daytime, and the fastest way to get to work may be by train where you live. Nevertheless, routine maintenance system-wide could help to prevent major problems in the future. Now what about you commuters who may need to use public transportation while work is happening on the rails? The answer is bus interfacing, where the railroad could plan to have either their own buses or buses from the local company to meet passengers at the stations. Now for the sake of comfort, and just in case some may have any luggage, I would recommend coach buses, whether commuter coaches or highway coaches. As a side note, for those of you that follow me on Twitter at Journal Projects, you may recall when I asked if Amtrak should buy Greyhound, which has been up for sale for a few months. Even though a majority voted no, let me explain. For those who regularly rely on Greyhound, Amtrak would keep some of the same routes. but they would also have additional buses for throughway service, not only for those who live further from any lines, but also for overnight maintenance. For instance, I hope that Amtrak could add bus interfacing to the Northeast Corridor, especially so that they can make needed repairs to the East River tunnels. I also hope that bus interfacing for the corridor could stay in place after the tunnel repairs are completed so as to have a good maintenance routine. I bet none of you commuters in the tri-state area wish to have a repeat of the unfavorable circumstances that happened during the summer of 2017. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at Journal Projects, where I announce new uploads here on YouTube and ask companies different questions so as to help me come up with new videos.